Hello guys, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. All right guys, amazing day, amazing day. After yesterday, which was all right, today was like a great day. Most of our trade setups this morning were working. Morning broke out in the morning, gave us some nice trades, and overall we really did good. Most I'll show you a lot of. I personally did many trades today, so that was a good day. So I'm going to recap all those. Just before I do that, just do a quick introduction to anybody who's new to my community, who's new to my Twitter X, or who's new to my YouTube, or new to follow me. All these trade recaps and all these teachings are so all these trade recaps and all these teachings are for mostly the trades that either it's a swing trade, day trade, or investment, or whatever we're doing. Most of these trades are from the from our my community, and a lot of these ideas I share on Twitter as well. A lot of the chart ideas, chart setups, or I shared it on YouTube in my previous videos. In my previous YouTube videos, we trade a repeatable system. My repeatable system, thousands of traders across the world use to trade consistently. We have repeatable setups, time-tested setups, which when triggered pay us really good. If they don't work, we lose small. We lose small, we win big. That's what we try to do. That's how we work. Our community, it's not an alert service, but day in day out, we are trading the same setups. All of us trade with a strict system. I'm on the voice in the morning as well, guiding everybody through the trades, the market, first few hours of the market open. And if market is hard, something is going on, I stay on the voice. Every morning we have a game plan. Our team prepares this game plan, just like one you see in front. We have the news, we have earnings, we have marketplace, mag 7, we have upgrades and downgrades. There was a bunch of names today on our game plan. You can see we have support and resistance pivots, which we use to trade either bullish or bearish, shorts or longs, calls or puts. And we have initial bias. We have initial bias over game plan. Depending on our system, we take a position and we trade according to that system. In addition to that, I also have something we call as day 2, day 3 setups. This is a strategy that I invented, and these are the stocks which had news yesterday, day before yesterday, and they can still move on a day 2, day 3, and based upon our Ripster EMA clouds, our support resistance pivots is how we trade these setups. Today, China was a big name for us. Snow was there, kind of didn't work out. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about a bunch of other names as well. In addition to that, we share the daily levels for crypto stocks like Coin, MSTR, and these because when Bitcoin is moving, we try to work with these setups as well. We also share low float watch game plan for low float traders. Today there's not much going on in low float world, so nothing much to recap there, but I will recap everything else. In our community, we have all the screen shares, we have the option flows, we have the news bots, we have basically all the tools that a trader needs, and we are slowly expanding into more long term as well. I'm going to provide more tools there as well. Anyways, that was our quick introduction, and now let's start and go play by play. I will show you my time-stamped guidance. I can't show you what I was talking on the voice, but see how we community we went through. Hundreds and thousands plus traders are trading the community all day, going through the different trades. So let's get started. So we're going to start with let's see here. So we're going to start with talking about the market, right? So we look at SPY. SPY is fine, but I'm going to focus on QQQs, the NASDAQ 100s. So NASDAQ 100s was right at a spot of breaking out, right? We did get a kind of breakout. It didn't sustain. So we did make some good profit, 100% on the calls, which I will show you. But the breakout that I'm looking for did not come today. Maybe we get it tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But right now, QQQ is stuck there. But anyways, I'm always on screen share, and my screen, I'm sharing my screen. What I'm looking at, the traders in my community are looking at the same thing from my screen share. And let's look at it, how we handle SPY QQQ all day. So as soon as the market open, I said SPY QQQ bullish out of the gate. Longs are looking good versus the cloud. So right away we were bullish, right? So we were bullish right away. QQQ was much better than SPY though. So QQQ was much better than SPY just because I talked about how QQQ was breaking out. SPY was kind of a little sluggish there, right? So when SPY was pulling back, we closed those longs, right? I told everybody to just close it if it pulls under 34.50. But QQQ was not pushed, still looking good. So QQQ bounced right away, and SPY bounced as well. SPY pushed like not much. I mean, it pushed from like 571s to 571.80s. Nothing special. Very pathetic range on SPY today. Although QQQ, just because we talked about that breakout, it did start to break out, and QQQ was looking good at 10 a.m. flag breakout right here. So QQQ did, so this is why I was talking about QQQ. Yesterday high is the first target for QQQs. Will take some off on the amateur move, and then it started to flag. I had some 487 calls, which went 125% for me, and that's what I was guiding. I told community to hold the longs, right? I hold the longs I talked about at that 956. After I said that, the QQQs continue to push towards 487. We did get that breakout. On QQQs, but it did not sustain, and so we had to take off, right? We could have got more profits, but that's why you always sell, right? When your profit is on the options is going, you have to sell some and then lock rest of it. At the same time, you could long SQQQ also went from 35s to 36.44s on that. It's also one of our swings, huge winner so far on our swing. And then we also have let's see here, we're going to look at TQQQ, right? So if you can't trade the options, you can trade those shares. So TQQ longs were good from 730, 720, 40. You could easily, even if you had 500 shares, you could easily make risk-free money there with your stops. They're risking $200-300 maybe and making $500 on 500 shares, something like that. And options, of course, were really good. Went 100%. So that was a good trade. So QQQ basically was a good trade for us this morning. SPY not so much, but no damage done on SPY. Our focus was, of course, on QQQs, and that breakout kind of helped us with some of other trades that we are going to discuss now. So let's go discuss those now. So we always have all the semiconductors on our daily list, right? We have ARM, SMCI, AVGO, and in addition to that, I have Taiwan Semi, I have Qualcomm. These are all every day on our watch list, and I browse through the semis looking for which is the strongest semi, right? Which is the strongest semi. So SOXL was a good long, as I talked everyone this morning that we can long SOXL. So that was a good long in the morning. Of course, it's our swing as well. So SOXL was a good long in the morning, and I told everybody AMD, NVDA, AVGO, all those are good names, and they were good longs as well. You can see we made a decent profit on all those runners right at the open, right? We made on AVGO, Taiwan Semi was a decent push, and of course we'll talk about AMD, which was AMD was again, it comes down to the importance of the daily charts. I've been not our official Tenet swing, but I shared it publicly, this idea, when we broke out of this fib level, 0.5 fib, 154s. I'd said we can buy the pullbacks, and it pulled back, held the fibs, and pushed continuously to the second fib. So that was not a bad idea. So that was a good retest and holds of that retest. So AMD was good today. Now it's benefiting from the micron, and you see AMD never broke the 512s. Now, I mean, it kind of pulled back, but you have to look at the support. So that was a support there in AMD. So those were our semiconductors long in the morning, and SOXL swing, of course, is of our official swing going nicely. So that was our focus. With the market breaking out, SOXL was another one of our focus. So I'm just going to talk about NVIDIA. So what I'm going to talk about NVIDIA here is, let me see what I want to talk about here is, so NVIDIA today, right at the open, I saw a lot of flow on NVIDIA, a lot of flow. You can see this flow right here. You see that right away on the BB scans, right away 120 calls started to come in, and right away 124 calls started to come in, and then also 123 calls. And then our other scanner, which is also on our stream, our ghost board, that also alerted some more calls on 130 Cs and then 121 Cs. So first thing I mentioned in the morning on the voice, that NVIDIA has a call flow. And not only that, the levels that I gave on NVIDIA, if I show you right here, so we were breaking out right of those levels, 122, 122.64. So NVIDIA was long right away, and all semis are good long. I talked about that. You can see here right at the open. And then after that, NVIDIA was all looking at our targets. We were looking at 124, our first target, and the calls that I talked about went 60-70%. We analyzed our next targets, right, based upon the resistance. There was a huge seller. We use bookmap. So we use bookmap for checking the order flow. We're checking where the buyers and sellers are, and I tweeted about how big the seller is at 125. So I can show you here as well. This is a tool we use. So you see that how I tweeted about the 125 big seller, right, and 1.6 million. It's not hard to get over that. So what we do that we take profits there, right? We take profits, right? Some of the traders short it. If you get a close entry to that, you can short it, just hoping that seller doesn't stays there, and you can make some bucks. It tried a few times, and then it failed and came back. And then 512, when it broke 512, I told everybody exit longs, right? The same thing happened yesterday, today as well. Exit longs, the 512 is breaking down, and even that's a repeatable short setup. You could short from 125 starter and add more short, and you could easily trade short as well. So both NVIDIA and midday short was good. So we're very happy with the NVIDIA execution today. That's why we stay on the top of everything, try to guide the community through that. So NVIDIA was a beautiful winner for everybody. Let's go to the next one. Or let's talk about the China name. So China name had a big news yesterday. So we don't forget about those trades next day. We always focus on those trades next day, right? So we have BABA. I've been sharing the BABA chart. That's it's just weekly trying to get out. We have PDD, and if you see on the side, I have the full China list that I share with my community every morning, because China was one of our main focuses today. Why was that? Because most of the China names were gapping down. I really didn't see why they were gapping down, but they were gapping down after a big move back. So we had a setup which we call as gap up, a gap down, gap fill. And that's what we had in our day 2 setups, everything provided to the community, BABA, BIDU, those, I think I tweeted about that as well. And once they were over Ripster EMA clouds, you take long, you're risking $500, you're making, $1,000. That's a good trade. 1 to 2 risk reward, not a crazy, but it's good. But the best one today for us was BIDU. I think let's see if I can show you here. So all China names, I mentioned China names, high focus, right? That's what I mentioned right in the morning. And I told everyone BABA and BIDU is curling. PDD is also trying to curl. BIDU was one of our best curls today. Very easy setup, stress-free, right? All you need to do is get long, your stops under the clouds, let it work, right? And the full gap fill. So that was I was talking about BIDU this morning, was a BIDU full gap fill there. BABA, Vin was on BABA this morning. He guided BABA longs, and if you can see Vin, his guidance was on that BABA. You can see the complete guidance by Vin on BABA. Beautiful guidance. Although I personally liked more the move on BIDU than BABA, because BIDU has more range. So those was good winners, right? So you don't need alerts, you need repeatable setups. We focus 100% on what is moving, and you don't need to trade everything. Somebody's trading BABA, somebody's trading BIDU. You trade what you like as per your personality, or as per your back testing and what works most for you, right? So BABA was really nice, BIDU was really nice. All these plays were really nice for the community today. Even FUTU, which kind of didn't work for me yesterday, even FUTU filled the whole gap fill, right? What does our system say? Our system says as soon as you push over the clouds, you take it long, your stops under the low of the last candles, and that was definitely a good one. Although I didn't focus on FUTU, my focus was BIDU mostly, and a lot of traders were trading PDD. That was good as well. We'll see what tomorrow brings. A lot of resistance up at 115 on PDD. It will be all these names will be on our focus for tomorrow, day 3 repeatable setups. There are a lot of other plays in the community which were solid winners for us all day long. Let's look at one of them. That was PRGS. So these were all the shit. So PRGS, what was the news? So PRGS, it had a guidance uplift, 3Q beat, long over 59.50, gap fill under. So the planning was given in the pre-market and it worked to the planning. Beautiful, right? That's what I love about the system, that it works as per the planning. As soon as I saw this swipe from 34.50, I knew it's a long, right? So you long that, and then you put your stops right here under the bottom of that candle, the morning candle. And I gave everybody that 62 is a breakout, risk is 60, and I gave that at 61. We broke 62, we broke of that. 65 was my target, we met 66. So we are risking $1 and we are making $4, more than $4. There's one risk to 4 reward trade. There's my time-stamped guidance. I showed you the pre-market analysis, pre-market planning. I love it when everything works with the plan and you stop out here, right here. And PRGS was another beautiful winner for us in the community. Yeah, next one I'm going to talk about is RBLX. So RBLX was on our game plan as well. Let's go back and see what RBLX was telling us. Let's see. So RBLX was, let's see here. There's some news on RBLX. Okay, let me see. Yeah, Roblox City had upgraded it. So many upgrades today. So I told everyone to long over 47.21. So the guidance was already provided to long over 47.21. So as soon as it breaks 47.21, if you choose Roblox as your play, you long it, right? I gave this plan of 20 minutes before the market open, and it confirmed the longs. And right away, I told everyone, confirm the long. 48, the first target. We met 48 target. Then we had a 48, 43. But sadly, it didn't keep on going. It pulled back. So we had to stop out right here. We didn't make any crazy profits, but definitely was a good dollar move on Roblox. Nothing special, but at least it was a good move into 10 a.m. So you have, when you see, or you can use your trailing stops. You don't, it depends on you. If you have good profit, you don't want to use 35, 12 stops. If they're too far, use some stops based on these candles, and you can get out. So Roblox, nothing crazy, but definitely a good morning winner. So next one we're going to discuss is AMGN. So AMGN was all day short for us. Beautiful short. And that's what I said in the pre-market. AMGN, mixed data. Watch if MTF's cloud reject for the short. So I already gave that pre-market plan to short AMGN. And as you see, it rejected the MTF clouds and it faded all day. Here's the timestamp guidance. At least you could take $8 to $10 per share short. I can say still heavy, watch the shorts, cover some here, beauty fades, bear flag, only cover 512 curls. You could easily make 100% on your puts here. You're risking $500. You're easily making, on the shares, you're making much more if you have a little larger account. If you're risking like $500, or let's say you're risking $200, you're easily making $1,000. Or on the options, you're easily making 150% on these trades. So those are repeatable setups to have exponential growth. So let's talk about some loser. So coin was looking good. It was breaking out, but it didn't really do anything after the amateur move. So those big candles and came right back down and broke 512s. Was looking good, right? Push over, but as you see, it was just the amateur move. There's no green candle in the trend move. So tried to long it, but when it failed here, had to take a $2 loss there. So that was a loser today, but that's fine. If it went, we would have made $6-7. We lost $2. That's fine. Similar to that was Snow. So Snow was our, let's look at our levels here. So Snow was one of our day two setups over 113, and it was looking good on this pullback to MTF clouds and then long, but it pushed to 116 and then right away pulled back, and then we had to get out. You see at 10:10, that's when I mentioned it. It did pull like 116, 116s, but that one was not what I was looking for, and then it came right back and stopped us out, and then it flushed right under. So you can see that was Snow. So just to be fair, I wouldn't call it any flat trade. This was a loser. There's many other plays from the community today that were going. DUOL was a beautiful name. Those of you who follow me from a long time and know that this is, one of the things I cover: high EPS growth, high earning growth. These are the stocks you invest in. Break out of the range, all-time highs, A plus. Last week breakout, and today we had an we can look what was the what was the upgrade we had. So there was, you go, DUOL. If you look here, neutral bias. JP Morgan raised the profit target to 303. So when JP Morgan raises something, Goldman Sachs raises something, that things are going to move. And then I gave the target on DUOL as 300, and we almost hit close, 295, 220, 297.56. Was a decent one I've been talking about since morning. And since there was no volume, I personally didn't trade it, missed it, but a lot of traders did do pretty well on DUOL. It ran up almost. The volume was today was 300%, and ran up quite quite big candle today. So that was definitely nice. Let's look at the next one. So next one we're going to look at is FLUT, FLUT. So FLUT today it's a FanDuel. If you follow the company, they own the FanDuel, just like DraftKings. So that out of the, it pushed because there was a FLUT plan. The plan on FLUT was, let me see if I can find again. So that's a repeatable short setup. That's what we call as a repeatable short setup on 512 break. All-time high chart, bullish on pullbacks, right? So that was the plan on FLUT. But the problem with the FLUT was it tried to bounce. It was okay, you could long here, but it was lower highs. And then 247 512 break alert came through as soon as that's our short setup, right? You can short it, your stops can about 248, and from that alert it went on to fade all the way down to usually 242 is our target, but it faded even more. So that was a nice trade there as well. Just want to look at some other plays, not necessarily our trades. ROKU was there. ROKU was on our watch list. ROKU was on our watch list because it had an upgrade by Citi, and we were watching the cloud pullback on MTF. But as soon as the market opened, I saw the weakness. I told everyone no long. I clearly told everybody on the voice, we are breaking under MTF. MTF breakdown is actually a short. Not enough range for my taste, but still it faded like $1 there. So you can see that. Don't blindly follow the news, follow the system. Even if it's upgrade, it's not worth longing it. We don't long it. We don't lose money longing this kind of setup. So that's beauty for our system. There are some other plays like CEG. So CEG was a day 2. Nothing much here. Just watching it. So that was CEG. Let's look at some other day 2s. Let's look at Visa. So Visa was not only a day 2, Visa was also had a news today. So news was good, but it didn't, there was news. Only long if 512 calls, void if no calls. So Visa, no calls, we avoided it. No calls, we avoided it, and that was a short. So that was a V, so that was a V here. So let's look at the next one here. So that was the V. Let me fix it here. So there was another one on our watch list. It was also fade all day. Candles were not clean. So just a recap of this. Now was short the pops 884. There was an FBI conducted a raid at Carsoft and SAP and all that. So that was on the watch, but with SAP and Okta, short the pops, lotto play. It faded all day, but it was not enough range to do anything, right? So it did fade. It did work as the bias, but there was not enough range to make any money on there or make any profits on there. So that was Visa. Oh, sorry, that was now. Let's look at the next one. One second here. Full screen is. So there was few shorts today. There was Ford short. There was GM short. and there was Ford. There was also, I think it was a RIVN short today this morning, and all these were short because this, here you go. Morgan Stanley downgrades General Motor, Ford, and Rivian. Follow the cloud rules. Was a simple short setup, nothing special, but just wanted to tell you that it was a nice short at the open, no trade afterwards. So next one is Wayfair. There was also a short all day. Let's see what the game plan. Wayfair was bearish to neutral if breaks MTF. 53 breaks, it's a short. And as you see, the 53 broke right out of the gate, and it was a short to the 51. So that was a straight the open short. I didn't want to talk about Micron after hours. So Micron, the plan was simple. We don't gamble in the earnings. I don't gamble in the earnings. I did like this play long term as a swing, but I didn't want to take a swing before the earnings. My plan today was that if it pushes over 100, that's definitely a good pivot to long. So once the news came out, and we longed it right away on in after hours. Let's see. Let me see. So I did have that. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see if we can find that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so here we go. So I try to fill, usually after hours I try to fill right away when I see it moving. You see it's moving over 100, it's moving over MTF clouds. My bid didn't fill. I ended up filling up. Let me see, where did I fill? I filled up, I think, at 104s or something like that. Yeah, let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm just trying to find my, yeah, I did sell some here at 106s. So I think I sold some here at 106s. You can see that 106s I sold 2,000 shares, and I kept some and I sold the rest. Now the target is, our target was 108, and our target was 110. The reason for the long was that it's beaten down, good guidance, and it's breaking over 100. So that was the reason behind long doing the longs, and that was our after hours trade here. So you can see I talked about that we are going to 108, 110 target, so that was good. Good, nice, profitable trade after hours. Will be interesting tomorrow. I did want a bigger pullback to size big, never got it, but regardless, was a good trade. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. All right, guys, that was all today. Hopefully you guys learned something from today's trades. By the way, if you want to learn how to trade after hours, you watch my webinar Beyond the Bell. I explain everything, how to trade after hours before market opens, and what are the setups and what are the entry and exits. All right, take care. Bye-bye.